You're live.
Okay, we're gonna try this again.
Take two.
Take two. So this is my group of interns. They are going to take the Lauren Agee case from start to finish. And that's Nico, the dog. But we are going to go over the first steps of what they would do if they got this case themselves. This group is, these are the criminal justice generation coming up. So we want to make sure that they do things so I don't end up having these cases later on. So the first thing we're going to talk about is first steps. If you were called on the scene of this case, what would you do differently than what was done? Who wants to take it? And say your name. Connor?
Connor Lukowski. Well, for first, if I was the detective Jeremy Taylor, I would actually go to where the body was, because through the case, or according to the brain scratch video, he did not even go to where Lauren's body was found, and there's like a lot you should be able to gather from where someone's found. I mean, it would be pretty difficult in like the cove with all the water and different elements, like washing stuff away, I guess, but that would still be like where a detective should start, I think.
So what kind of evidence do you think you would get from going to the crime scene and seeing where her body was? Who wants to take that?
Well, obviously DNA. If there's any kind of foreign DNA on her, maybe she hadn't been in the water too long, it's still able to be retrieved off the body. Just like the way they handled the body after they.
That's another mistake.
Yeah, yeah.
They should have done the rape kit, which they failed to do.
Now, how do you feel about the comment that Jeremy Taylor made that she wasn't raped because she was on her period? Girls, how do you feel about that?
That's
That's
you
accurate.
still get raped while on your
So,
period.
That's not accurate at all.
You have dudes that are even trifling enough to still want to have sex with you while you're on your period.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact that her being on her period is not an excuse to not get raped.
And her mom
You guys can't talk all at once.
Sorry.
Her mom also said that she wasn't on her period as far as she knew, so why would there be a tampon in her in the first place?
And look, even if there was a tampon in the front, that's not the only,
There's other ways to
entry
rape somebody,
position, I guess.
Yeah.
That is a great point. So do you all feel like evidence was left on the table, not looked at?
Yes.
What was the most shocking thing that you read or heard?
That they pulled her body out of the water with a fish hook.
The polygraph.
Polygraph?
That was, there was so many. It's hard to nail just one, but that's what the polygraph, like, the guy's gonna tell them they don't have to go. Was that Detective Taylor, right?
Right.
Told them that they wouldn't have to go, or told them to come to begin with, and then they said, nah, you don't need to come.
Well, one of the things that hasn't been reported or talked about was at one point the family was told to get a polygrapher if they had one, that Jeremy Taylor would talk to them about getting it done. I've never heard of a police department asking the victim's family to get a polygrapher. That's another unusual thing. So as you guys go through this case and you're going into criminal justice, how do you feel about how criminal justice was handled for Lauren?
It wasn't handled. Point blank period.
Renee, you had something to say this morning. Do you want to say it now?
I just feel like the way that they handled everything was incorrect.
They did it really poorly, and they got a lot of stuff wrong, and even the cause of death that they tried.
They didn't stay long enough to actually look for anything, or they didn't search other areas.
They automatically said that she drowned, and
Yeah.
she was floating.
Which
Yeah.
And there was no water in her lungs.
Yeah,
was supposed to
Say that
that.
again, louder.
There was no water in her lungs, so if you drown, then you normally have water in your lungs.
And
And then
he
you
also
say-
said, yeah, that you would sink if you were drowning. She was clearly floating on top of the water, so.
Do you all feel like she fell from the top of the cliff down to the bottom and floated over to the cove?
No.
There
It's
is
not-
there is no way that they're really like fucking.
She would have floated towards the docks though, right? And
Yes.
towards the bay, she would have floated the opposite direction.
Like out towards like the main, is that a river or lake?
That's the marina area, so she would have flown, the water flow would have taken her, or the wind would have taken her to the marina.
Yeah, what I'm saying, like what they were on, is that a lake?
Oh,
Or is
where
it-
she,
where the actual Wake Fest was at, or where the marina was, is it on a lake
it's
or?
on a
river?
lake, but, now let me get you guys to understand, Wake Fest was 6 miles from, I'm sorry about the dog, we tried to keep him out, but somebody let him in. So, Wake Fest is 6 miles from where the cliff was. So, somebody said that the boats would have done something. Dad, can you go get him a bone? So the boats were 6 miles away from where Lauren's body was found. The boats and the Wake Fest event with all the people would not have affected where she was in the cove, and that's been brought up several times. And also, one of the things that's very important about the cove and where she was, thank you, Dea, it's an area that's kind of isolated.
So
Not,
it's
They're
not-
saying-
It's not on a river or a lake then, that's what you're saying?
it's in a lake.
Okay, that's,
It's
yeah,
part
that's,
of the lake.
what lake is it?
Center Hill.
Yeah.
Center Hill?
They're saying terrible audio. It sounds like they're underwater. But
Okay, so we will probably wrap it up because we've got to work on this. So we just wanted to start out giving you an idea of what we're working on. We have technical difficulties because I'm over the age of 20. And so we'll get better audio for the next time, but this gives us an idea.
oh, they're saying it's perfect now.
Maybe it's just where the iPad was.
Is
Oh,
it all right?
Might be
Okay.
covering, like, the microphone or
Yeah.
something on
Oh,
the-
you may have.
Yeah.
I mean, I turned it up. Where's the microphone?
At the bottom.
At the bottom. I
Okay.
wasn't really holding. I was holding over here.
I know. Well,
Okay.
is it all right?
Well, maybe I should put it upwards.
Is that
Is
better?
that a flip over? Okay.
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 So
It
being
says
over
perfect now. Let's keep going then.
Okay, you
Let's
wanna
go.
keep going? Alright, so, because we're,
They think it's the high ceilings.
oh, yeah, we can go back into the bonus room next time. But who's doing the clip?
Audio's fine, they're saying. So you were
Okay.
saying something? Yeah.
Alright,
I
so,
was just asking what lake it was on, so it's Center Hill Lake, is that?
Renee, if you click on my phone, I'm gonna make you talk the whole time. I put the whole thing on you.
Oh, I was not paying attention. I'm sorry.
That was the underwater.
That was not,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So anyway, but what we're doing, and the whole point of this is to get the new criminal justice interns, people going out into the criminal justice world, to know it can be done better. Tennessee can do better than what we've seen on this case. The biggest issue is not going to the crime scene, not doing a rape kit and the evidence.
There's 2 crime scenes there, there's the water and then there's on top of the hill.
3, because there was
Oh, yeah,
a second,
yeah.
there was a second campsite. And so, going to what you said earlier, going to the crime scene, also, do you think that the detective should have taken a boat around and looked to see if there's blood?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't understand why that wasn't done.
Do you think he should have climbed up and down looking for blood?
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
There was another issue of the witnesses were all kept together.
Excellent point. So when you guys are discussing something, do you feel like you're influenced at all by,
Because if we're all having a discussion about, okay, who knocked over the thing, if they're all saying you did it, and they're all saying I did it, it's whoever does the majority, they're most likely gonna go with it,
so you're influenced by your peers.
It's the group mentality.
Excellent point.
You learn about that day one of CSI investigation.
So your classes, what's the class that I tell everybody to pay attention to?
Research methods.
Research.
That whoever's teaching that, we're really gonna be working on that, and I'm interested to see how it translates into the real world here. So, and we are gonna wrap this up because we're gonna work on our Facebook Live stuff, but what is the one thing that you all would have done if you're handed a badge today and you get Lauren's case, it's 5 years later, what would you do?
Keep Hannah's phone away from her when we're interviewing her.
Okay. That's a good point. Anything else? Who would you start with? 5 years later,
Bricks.
why Brett?
Because there's so little interview material on him.
There's none.
My point exactly.
Who else would you interview?
Maybe Chris,
Yeah.
because he was like the last picture with her in the email.
And they were supposed to be sleeping in the same.
And I'm sorry, if you're in an or Enu or however you pronounce it, you feel when someone moves. I mean, I've been in it with my friend. Like we can't breathe weird without them feeling it.
Plus, he was a stranger too.
But yeah, and that's true, but everybody here's party, right? Like seeing people do the things or whatever, one night things on the weekends. I mean, they're kids. I mean, I wouldn't throw that realm of possibility just like totally off the cliff. Well, I mean, out the window yet. So I mean, I think that is a possibility. Like I wouldn't maybe put that past anybody, but it's not. And like I don't think Chris. Well,
I mean,
I
I
just
just
think
think
it was-
you
I
pass
don't-
anybody, but
from that anonymous tip you got, that guy calling about Chris. I mean,
Nobody knows about. Yeah. Okay. So
okay, and that's it. Okay, my bad.
That April Fool's joke,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We're still getting tips, but they're great. We're still getting tips in. And one of the things that's important is keeping the case alive by doing things like this, by talking about it, by having people share it, because people are reaching out. We've gotten written mail, we've gotten tips called in. The interns have heard tips that no one else has heard, and we know a lot going on behind the scenes. This case is going to be resolved. It's just a matter of how and who's going to do it. And of course, I think crowdsourcing justice is the way to do it, by using you all in your minds. So we're doing the Lauren Agee case, and then we're going to turn this off and go to another website to do a second case. But anything you guys have to say? Because we're going to do this again, but we're going to be ready for it again. Technology wise.
No, we're great technology.
Yeah, no, but we're going to. Okay, should I?
Yeah.
Okay. So the director.
I don't know.
All right. If we're going to. Do you want to say anything, Renee? Because you had a lot to say this morning.
Yeah, I think she does.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you've seen the photos, and she clearly has a broken nose, but she doesn't have scratches all over her face. Would that be indicative of a fall or an assault?
Assault.
Right. Isn't that kind of a smoking gun, or one of? That's a red flag.
Something else like I thought was kind of weird from like the Crime Watch Daily stuff that I watched was like at some point like early in the day she jumped off a cliff and knocked herself
Yeah, and
out.
then hit herself in the head.
Okay,
then
if you
turn
knock
around.
yourself out in water, like you should probably go and get taken care of. Make sure
Yeah,
everything's
and then she
Yeah.
turned around and went out drinking later on at night.
So great point. So sorry about Nico. Who gave the information? So, fantastic point right there, Connor, because the information came from the campers that she knocked herself out. The information about her getting in the last place she was seen was by Chris Stout or Hannah. Who gave that information?
I was like, no, well, it was Chris, I guess, right?
It was, Chris, and Hannah told, Chris Yarchuk.
Wasn't Chris drunk the whole time?
So, the point being is, you have to look at who gave you the information. Who's the person that gave you the information, and then you have to verify it. So how would you verify that she was in the Inu with Chris?
The photo that they took to you?
So that photo was the very first day. We have her phone. That was taken when she first got up there, because you have a timestamp. So that wasn't the last day, that was the first day. So,
But I feel like if you're inebriated enough to pass out on a stranger's boat, you're not gonna remember much.
correct.
Or you're not gonna be able to do much yourself that night.
Yeah, because I know we've all been there, and we all know how it feels to be that inebriated. So it's like your senses are not, and you're gonna have a blackout period. I'm sorry that you are.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have issues remembering
I'm gonna
exactly
go
what took
and
place
I
and what Inu you were in, and if the girl. But you're still gonna, like, if you're like this with someone in an Inu, you're gonna feel things.
Yeah.
Your heart sleep, lights.
Yeah, whether you're
Yeah.
drunk, high, stoned, whatever, you're gonna feel it.
Dea, take over for a second on asking a question.
So, we do white marks, we can do white marks.
Can we just, okay, this is what's reminding me about the bite marks. First off,
Wait, talk about which white mark you're talking about, because there's several.
there's one with the, specifically the one on her chest, and I feel like with those bite marks that were shown, you can like visibly, like you can see like teeth, like teeth marks, and I feel like it's not fair that bite marks are considered as junk science right now. I feel like if it wasn't considered as junk science, we would get somewhere with this. You know what I'm saying? Dental records from each person that was there. I mean, we could do a lot with that. Also, you can get DNA. I mean, like from the bite. Like, why wasn't that collected? You know what
Would
I'm
you
saying?
have done that at the crime scene, or would you have done that during the autopsy? To make sure that the evidence is preserved properly.
Talk about her.
Probably the crime scene.
Crime scene?
Because I feel at that moment when they're taken by the coroner or whatever, I feel like they do. I don't know what they do to the bodies, but I feel like it's not the same type of. I don't know.
I
Maybe
feel like
it's
more
rather-
evidence would have been preserved at the crime
Yeah,
scene. Maybe
like,
more, like
it's
picture
quicker.
samples, anything could have been
It's
saved.
quicker.
Yeah.
So it probably wouldn't have been destroyed or whatever the case may be.
Definitely when you see like, this person has human bite marks on her, it's like a little attractive female and everything, I would immediately probably.
And
go
you can
with
clearly
the-
tell that they're human, they're
But
not animal.
I
Assume
feel,
something with a rape kit.
I feel if someone is biting somebody, if I'm fighting you, I'm biting you because I'm losing.
Yeah.
So I feel like if she was, if it was an altercation, she was getting away, and for you to stop somebody, I mean, going through the flesh, going through the skin.
Keep that almost one. So they didn't take pictures of like Aaron or
No.
anybody, so they couldn't see if like they themselves had like some scratch marks or claw marks or anything on them.
Bingo. That's very important. That should have been done.
They do have Chris Stout on the record saying he did bite her on Friday. He said he bit her on the hip,
Mm-hmm.
but that's still sort of an admission of guilt
Did he
of
also put
biting.
bruises
So
on
who
her
knows if he was
thighs?
roughhousing and bit her here? You never know. So that is what the defense would use, probably.
Yeah, so why?
He
Yeah.
said he did.
That was his way of, you never
and
know.
y'all will look at his video on that. But one of the things, okay, so let's go back to very first thing. we're at day one at looking at Lauren's case. The first thing you all are going to be doing is learning about Lauren as the victim first. You're gonna learn about everything, it's a victimology. You're gonna learn everything there is to know about Lauren. One of the most important things about this case is how Lauren reacts to confrontation. Lauren was not someone who would back down.
She fights.
That's what I'm saying.
Her dad.
So I honestly,
She scraps.
I feel like if she was the scrappy female, if she was this, not calling her aggressive, but if she could stand up for herself, she stood up for
She
herself.
was a dominant person.
Yeah, her dad in one of the recording times too was like she didn't back down from nobody.
So if that's the
She
case,
stood
And her dad was giving her tips like put your hair up.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like,
Take
he
hoops
told
out.
her, yeah, he
and
told
I
her.
mean, wasn't her hair up?
Not when they
Was her
found her.
hair up? What was it?
That's the other thing. So I know this is kind of jumping. That is very important. What her father said about her. I would say an independent, strong woman. Would not back down from a fight, and also would stick up for somebody, I believe, because we know that from the audio too. So the other thing is about her hair. If you're falling down a cliff, do you think you might have a twig or two in your hair?
Leaves, twigs, dirt,
Some
bugs even.
Do you think the pictures you've seen, were there any twigs,
No,
dirt?
it was just wet from the water.
Mhm. So what else is missing here, guys?
She needs more. So when I looked at the autopsy, not that she needs more. Sorry, that came out wrong. Most of the injuries are on the back of her body. Versus if you're falling, they're gonna
be everywhere.
yeah.
And you
Your
don't,
body's gonna be scraped.
Yeah.
you don't
And
fall,
you don't fall like that.
a
Like you're
ball.
banging every which. I mean, there should be more injuries on all parts of her body versus just her back.
So one of the things that you guys will look up is you will look up someone who has fallen from that height to see what their injuries are versus what Lauren's injuries were when they found her.
The broken ribs, and this, I don't know, how do they have them numbered? Is it 1 through 12 or is it 12 through 1?
I don't know.
Okay, because I know he said like
We're gonna look it up though.
she said she had broken ribs, right?
Correct.
Okay, and so this is my thing with that canoe. Like, say if have you guys ever tried like to test yourself to get, see if anybody can get that impression themselves, like just off any kind of canoe?
Well,
Have you ever like put a real body on there and see if you can like make an indention? In the
so here's the thing we haven't gotten to, which is really important. The V on her chest, her stomach, stomach. We have put that to bed because we can match that to the rescue boat. So, and I'll show. Yes, we can. I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you. It's 4 years in the making, and I can show you now because John Warden, Gray Hughes, and myself spent some time going over it. I'll show you.
I'll watch that one.
Okay, so that V is from the rescue boat. They threw her body without preserving it. So generally,
No body bag, no.
they
just
should
put
have
her body
had
there.
her on a
It should
So
put her out
no
with the mesh.
hair.
yes, the way Chris was saying.
Yeah.
They just threw her.
That's what I was about to say.
They
But
just
no
threw her.
hair was.
It's so bad.
One of the things that I really feel like is important for you all to go through, and all of my cases are like this, as you guys are getting a feel for, none of my cases are clean and tied up in a bow for IDTV. They're messy. And one of the things I want you all to understand is this is very important for you all going into the real world to make the changes. And we can't treat bodies like this, and we can't treat families like this. So bodies being preserved and bodies being treated properly in the correct reason for their death needs to be given on a death certificate, and we've got real problems in the medical examiner's office. I mean, they're under fire right now for many cases. They did not do right for Lauren, so I've said it before, the police didn't treat her, I think her civil rights were thrown out the window. I think that, you know, the legal system hasn't taken care of her, the medical examiner hasn't taken care of her. So what I'm hoping through this is we don't repeat this when you guys go out into the real world. And you've got some great professors, as we've discussed, talking about that. So we're gonna, should we go ahead and wrap it up? Because we've got other things, I actually want them to work today. So, okay. But for Lauren, we're gonna go into more things like the bite mark and how we're going to take it and figure out, you know, if it's a human bite mark and what the steps are. We took the dummy up there and threw that dummy every which way that we were told that she fell. I have an animation person putting together what I believe happened, and we're gonna work on that. So we're gonna take the audience, the listeners, through this. And sorry, our first one was a little rocky. Thank you, Selena, for helping us. And thank you guys for doing this. We're gonna do it when I'm in town a lot.
Rib numbering 1 at the top, 12 at the bottom. Thanks, Beth.
Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Ray.
So did you hear that?
What?
Say that again.
Rib numbering 1 at the top, 12 at the bottom.
And he said 9 was broken, right?
Okay.
Okay, so this is, and I know it can be proven from a fall too, but, so if 9 is down here somewhere, and the V is like this right here on her body, so if they put her with her head in the
Maybe they broke her ribs.
If they put her in and then took her over there to the cove.
Mic drop.
Because you don't know when the injuries are from.
But yeah, I mean, if it's because
And this is the whole reason we do this.
think about it, because they would have been trying to balance too, so that probably could have cracked some ribs.
Bravo. On that.
Wow, mic drop into the end of the live there. Great
That's
job.
the end of our live.
Like the cutting.
Yep.